All right, good evening, everyone. Ali Safi here, Safi Financial Network, May 1st, 2025. It's going to be a quick video. It's not going to be that long, so I can't go through all individual names just because I don't have time today. Apology for that one, but we're going to go through major indexes and also gold and silver and crude. So market just went all the way up, especially early session. We just had Amazon and Apple earnings, so we will get to those ones today. But all in all, I should say, based on the earnings for Microsoft and also uh, what was the other one? Meta yesterday. So it was a pretty fantastic earnings, both of them. Microsoft just had a spike today, pretty close to 439, 440. Actually, it didn't touch, but it was very, very good spike for Microsoft. That's why market just had a nice rally today intraday session. After hours, after earning announcement for Apple and Amazon, they were actually had a solid earning. So don't get me wrong. So there were kind of like a weakness in some areas. Apple, there were some weaknesses in China Cell and Amazon. It was kind of like a weakness in AWS, which is a cloud. Their cloud revenue actually was not that great. And that's why market just sold off to the downside. So anyway, if you want to slice and dice it, we are kind of like a broken this trend line for the S&P 500. We are looking for a corrective move. We just recaptured SMA 50 today and just getting back to the downside and upside. So this 56 100 is the area that I'm looking at as a resistance because we are just getting into this important supply area, which initiate this sell-off. So this is very, very typical reaction for the market. We will see more choppiness, especially months of May. Potentially, even if we are going down, we are going to just gap fill this area. That's going to be still the scenario. It's not guaranteed. But all in all, I should say, when this bottom forms, again, another higher low potentially is going to form. We are gonna just delete for another upside move, potentially to new all-time high. So I know that it's gonna be very, very bold, but I would say market can lead to new all-time high this year again, especially for the earnings and everything on the geopolitical tensions, on the tariff war, everything seems like it's getting better right now. So we just got a positive news from President Trump as well that potentially they're gonna just have like a better way to compromise with China, which I think it's going to happen ultimately. I don't know when, but any volatility for the market, any kind of like a pullback or sell off, I would take it as like a corrective move. And that this correction can go to 5,300 still is going to be a decent correction. But after that, I'm kind of like looking for a nice rally to the upside. It's the same for Nasdaq. If you just go to the daily chart, so we just got into this 20,000 area, just rejected nicely. And right now, 20,000 to 20,500, there are lots of rejections there. So still, the lots of moving averages are congested there. We recapture SMA 50, we recapture SMA 20, and this is all bullish. So any kind of like a pullback could be a great buying opportunity. I would say still we can go to low 19,000. That's going to be like the pullback, nothing more. We are forming a nice reverse head and shoulder in a daily chart. So if you just see that, this is a nice reverse head and shoulder, and potentially we are kind of like at the final stage of this for getting back to the upside. And that would be great. I kind of like a buying opportunity, I would say months of April, months of May. And I would say second half of May, first half of June, that would be kind of like the scenario or period that I'm looking at for buying opportunities. So let's wait for that one again, because market is going to blink another time. Dow Jones, we just got into this important trend line here, which is just getting above this April 9, which is important, but this trend line actually for Dow is just pretty close to hit today. So there is no surprise you see sellers are coming back, and that 41,000 area is the sellers area. So we need to break above this 41,300, 41,400 to see if market can establish itself above this 41,400, which is going to be SMA 50 on a daily basis as well. If we get above this, that would be a great rally to the upside. Right now, I would say we are kind of like looking for a volatility down there. So it's going to be a choppiness. So that would be kind of like the area to 39,000, even 700 to 400, then getting back to the upside. So we will see how it goes with that one. Moving on to gold, which had a very tough day today. So it's just going down to SMA 20 on a daily basis. We may see some kind of like a forming the bottom, especially we got into this mini demand area before this high. So you may see some kind of like a pullback if you just, as I said, a corrective rally. Because if you go to 4 hour chart, you see that. So we are just getting below this. Any kind of like a correction could be a corrective rally to 3270 to 3300. That's the area that I'm looking at for another sell-off potentially to this area. So this is the area that I'm looking at, which is at 3000. 50 to 3,123. That's the area that I'm looking at as a great buying opportunity for gold. Right now, I don't think any kind of like a rally is going to initiate afterwards. We are just in a corrective move. Moving on to silver is the same, so it's just going down, bottoming tail here, but I would say this bottoming tail is going to be intraday or kind of like an hourly chart, but ultimately I'm looking for a deeper correction to test this bottom or even deeper to this at 25 to 27. Then after that, we should see rallies coming back. So right now, I'm kind of like staying on the side to see if silver is going down to this area. Moving on to crude. Crude is just going to the upside today. Nicely bottom here. I would say this is interesting just because if it holds and if it gets back to the upside, that would be nice W pattern. So I'm just looking for that one. And this is the buyer's area, initiate this rally if we get a confirmation. So let's wait for confirmation to see if that happens, because if that happens, you don't miss anything because the rally is going to be huge. And I think that the crude rally is going to be huge. All right, bond yield just spiking up today at 3.69. This is to form the bottom here as well. So we will see some kind of like a strength in dollar. TLT is down today after a rally last week. This week is kind of like a weaker. It's still 85 to 88 is going to be chopping around here. VIX is uptick today. I believe that VIX is getting close to its bottom. While the stock market is getting to intermediate top, VIX is getting close to intermediate bottom, potentially for another rally. DXY is getting back to the upside, nicely broken above this 99, recaptured 100. I would say 101 to 102 is coming down the road. Apple, so it's just going down today after hours. So solid earning. Again, China revenue is just a hiccup because of the tariffs. If everything's sorted, which I believe it's going to be sorted potentially this year, I mean, like for the next few months, then we will see market is going to go back up again nicely. Amazon, the same pattern here, it's just recapturing this area, still above this trend line. Even after hours, it's just going higher. Then getting back to the downside 186. So that is not kind of like a crazy move. And the Meta is the same, just the gapped up going down. So Meta is showing the weakness here. However, earning was amazing. Microsoft, look at that. So I would say 435. Yeah, 436, 437, 436.99. That's the area that Microsoft hit as this is we see that after that. So what happens? So this is kind of like a seller's area. We may see some kind of like a going down to 410, even 400, but that's going to be just a correction, nothing more. Google just getting back to the upside 161, even after hours. It doesn't care about the Apple earning, or Amazon is just going higher as well. Netflix, new all-time high, 133. And Tesla is just forming a consolidation. There were some rumors about Elon replacement, which is kind of like saying that it's not true. So we'll see how it goes. Semiconductors is the same, $212. And the stocks, the same pattern, it's just forming a consolidation. Let's wait for that one. Taiwan Semiconductor, huge gap up today. But Doji Bar, AMD, just a pop and then getting back to the downside. This is a gap fill here, 100. So still consolidating before the next rally. And NVIDIA is just popping up today, can't hold above this trend line. It's still there, but I would say the pullback is coming to 108. Texas Instruments still forming a bullish consolidation, and Lam Research, despite a pop today, just forming a consolidation as well here. And we will see how it goes. All right, folks, I don't have time, unfortunately, to go over all the other names, but I think I covered enough today. So if you have any question, please let me know. Put your comments down there. And also, Let me know, what do you think? The market bullish momentum is over, or we are just forming another potential higher low for another rally to the upside? We'll see how it goes. Have a fantastic evening. See you on the chart. Bye-bye.